everybody, to linuxacademy.com. My name is Terry, and in today's course, we continue our preparation for the Linux Foundation Certified System Administrator exam. In this video, we're going to begin looking at virtualization, and we're going to be concentrating on KVM in order to meet the requirements for our certification exam. The first thing that we're going to do is we happen to be using an Ubuntu system. We're running Ubuntu 15.4 or 15.10, which is the latest version of Ubuntu. However, these instructions will work from any version of Ubuntu 14.04 LTS up to the current one, and shortly the 16.04. Additionally, if you happen to be running a CentOS or Red Hat distribution, these package names are the same, and you would be using the yum process in order to install the hypervisor. So the first thing that you need to understand is when you're installing the KVM hypervisor, it can only be installed on a physical system because it relies on QEMU, so basically hardware virtualization. So in order to have hardware virtualization support in the kernel, it has to be a physical system of a 64-bit variety of CPU that has the appropriate modules enabled. Now, you can check your system by executing a pretty easy command. So in order to check your physical system, and in this case, we happen to be logged into over the network VNC session to an Ubuntu system running on a local laptop. So if we run egrep-c and we check for VMX and SVM and/or SVM inside of the file proc CPU info, as long as we get a non-zero return, then virtualization will be supported. So as long as I get something greater than 0, then virtualization will be supported. In this case, we are. So of course, update your system before you try to install any software, and we don't have to enable any particular repository in this case, but what we do want to do is we have a number of utilities that we need to install. So we need to do a sudo apt-get install, and when we're installing on this system, we're going to install a bunch of packages that are both QEM based as well as KVM based. So we want to say sudo apt-get install, and we're going to say QEMU-KVM, QEMU itself, libvirt-bin, virt install, bridge utilities, that way we can set up the bridge networking, the virtualization manager, and the virtualization viewer. Now, I will link to the package. Actually, I'll list the packages in the description for this particular video, and I'll link or list them for both the Red Hat CentOS as well as the Debian Ubuntu-based distributions. So we got to pull down a whole bunch of stuff. And then once we pull this down, then we're going to have to enable the virtual host networking. And in other words, it enables us to set a virtual host network that will function as a bridge network between the virtualization or the hypervisor-based VMs that we're going to create and the host IP so that we can get outside of the box. In other words, we're effectively going to be bridging from the virtual adapter to the physical adapter that's on our system so that we have internet access and we can get to the virtual machines other than on this direct system. So I'll go ahead and pause this video for a moment while this finishes its installation, and then we'll set that up. Okay, so now that we have our hypervisor at least installed, then what we need to do is we need to enable that virtual host networking. So let's go ahead and clear our screen. And all we're going to do here is if we do an lsmod and we grep for vhost, lsmod grep vhost, we'll see that the virtual host networking module is not enabled. So all we're going to do here is we're going to do a mod probe vhost_net. Now if we repeat the lsmod grep vhost, we should see that the vhostnet module is now running and attached as appropriate to the host, the vhost networking so that we can configure our bridge networking. What we're going to do is we're going to set up bridge networking by doing a modification of the network interfaces, which we'll do in our next video as we continue our installation and configuration of the hypervisor on our virtual system. But for installing the hypervisor and enabling virtual networking for bridging on our KVM system, that's all there is to it. My name is Terry for Linux Academy.